Good morning.
What? Early? It's not even 9 o'clock yet.
Gotcha.
Here I am.
Well, when you show up early, this is what happens.
I thought we had 2 minutes of talking.
Well, it should be 9 o'clock.
It's 8:59, sir.
Okay. We'll take a minute for everybody to get in and get here then.
According to UTC. Let's see who's waiting for us to go live. I wish you would say. All right, when you get in here, well,
you wish it would tell you who's actually in the room.
Yeah,
it does. If you
there's nobody. There we go. Who's here? State your name. State your business. That's Laura. Hey, Laura.
But you can hover over this little sign up here, and they'll tell you everybody in the room.
Right now, it just shows us.
Do what?
Are we a live viewer? Hover over it again. It says. Now we got 3 people on, and we're like.
And see, it's 9 o'clock. Everybody's showing up now. Okay.
Yeah, because you were early. Again, I told you this.
Does it not?
You gotta go down. Go down a little bit. No, it doesn't work. Maybe click it. I don't know. I don't think it's important.
Okay. Doesn't really matter.
So I got beat up last night about my runkles. These are the best sunglasses ever. Let me tell you why. What color are these sunglasses? Black? No. Look, they go to that brown iridescent thing. They're fancy. They're fancy.
They are. You get those from the eye doctor after you had your glaucoma screening?
I got these from Amazon for $14.88.
That's why you're getting haters about your glasses, is because they are similar looking to maybe some of those that we've seen some others wear coming out of eye surgery.
You know how much sunlight these block out, though?
All of it.
And you know what also blocks out?
Not pollen.
The haters.
It doesn't block out the pollen.
Blocking out the haters. You know what? It's not pollen. It's chlorine. We had our Wednesday night dive last night.
Okay. I like that as a theme kind of deal.
Yeah.
Wednesday night dive, just you random pools through the community all summer.
Well, church members. We try to stick with church members. And I mean,
I'm sure
Tim and Mert just blew it out of the water last night. We got there. Tim had all the hot dogs cooked.
This is what he does.
They had chips on top of chips, and they even had mayonnaise for their hot dogs. Not that I'm a mayonnaise on my hot dog eater. But we have one.
My respect for Tim has now lowered just a
no. It wasn't out.
Mayonnaise on a hot dog.
No. It wasn't. Tim wasn't eating it.
That's good.
Don't hate on Tim. I don't even know if Tim ate a hot dog. I'm sure he did, but and they were just blackened to perfection.
Mayonnaise goes on very few things. I'm kind of stuck on this right now.
I don't like mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise just doesn't.
I don't like mayonnaise. I don't like mustard.
Okay, now we have a problem.
I don't like vinegar. I don't like pickles. I don't like mustard. I don't like if it's got vinegar. I don't even like to dye eggs.
Yet you do it.
Well, because kids. Even though my kids are grown.
But you still do it. You did it this last year.
We'll never stop doing it.
There's a tradition that Joanna has in the house.
No, it's not even her tradition. I was the one that sparked it this year. Hey, are we dyeing eggs? Oh yeah, I guess we should do that. Yeah, we should. We should dye eggs.
The Navy man in you likes the routine of things. It's Easter, we dye eggs. This is what we do.
You're not wrong. You're not even a little bit wrong.
If we don't do it, it's going to throw off my whole year.
It's structure. It's good order and discipline. This is the way it has to be done. And so, I don't know if you viewers at home know this, but my wife left me to go to Missouri and take care of her mom.
You needed a little more pause there. A little more pause.
I know. I don't want people to go, what?
Your comedic timing needs just a little bit more work on it.
I've overused it. So I said it last night. I was like, yeah, Joanna left me. They're like, what? What? Oh yeah, she had to go take care of her mom in Missouri.
Yeah,
but she left me. She ditched me. She left me high and dry. Okay. My right hand pre-camp.
Oh, the week coming up to camp.
No, her mom is more important than camp. So
yeah,
I'm happy that she's able to go.
Yeah,
because the last time,
you've had a couple of good right-handers up here this week.
I have. For the last couple weeks, I'll tell you what, Skeeter and Mallory have just I wish we had the ability to post. Let me see if I can do that in the chat.
You can.
See if I can put a picture up.
Well, I don't know if you can put a picture, but you can't. Well, if it's on Facebook, yeah, it's a comment. Just add a comment. It goes up there. If I had the picture ahead of time, I could throw it up. I could put it into our screen right here, but I don't have that picture that you're looking for. If we only had a producer,
right?
If we had a producer, he or she could handle those things. You know who I'm talking about. You know who you are.
No chlorine in my pool. What is it?
What? It's a saltwater. He probably has a saltwater.
Water.
He has what?
Copper water.
Okay, I don't know what that is. We had a saltwater system when we had our pool. We loved it, man. There was no eye problems.
It wasn't chlorine because you couldn't smell it.
So you just got So you just have the typical pink eye coming out of the pool.
I guess. Well, I hope not. I hope not. 3 days from camp, all of a sudden I've got conjunctivitis.
Yeah, running rampant through the youth group.
No,
Cameron's gonna love you for that.
I would get the drop. I'd be at the doctor's office right now.
Yeah, right as soon as we got done.
If my
eye is already itching.
If my eyes were itching,
my eyes already itching. Keith, dang it.
Mine's not.
So I got 2 funerals coming up. Get away from
that from me. So I want to know who else does this. See how I dent my can right there?
So weird.
That's so I can put my thumb there.
You're so weird.
And my pinky up.
You're so weird. You fancy like Applebee's?
On a date night. I don't know why I do that. I don't know why. I just, maybe because so many people drink these and I want to differentiate mine.
I have been very impressed with coming out with the zero sugar. Because when they first came out, they were not that.
Right.
And now it goes in my wife's lunchbox. One goes in my wife's lunchbox every day, especially during this kind of season. She worked 12 hours yesterday.
Yikes.
She was 9 hours in courtroom.
If you don't know, she works for Tarrant Appraisal District, and right now everybody's disputing
protest season.
Their property taxes and the valuation of their.
She's on the commercial side, so there's less haters, but it doesn't mean that it's. I get it. It's tough.
I was in a Facebook group one time, and everyone's like, "These property taxes are killing me. Property tax. I was like, you understand that this means that the value of your home is going up, right?
This is what she tries to help people understand.
I mean, that's all that means, that the value of your home is going up.
They love it when they want to sell. They don't love it on the regular.
Well, you can't have both.
Well, and also, look, you would not have the quality of school buildings that we have without it.
Right.
That's a portion of what it goes to. You can look at your bill and it tells
you exactly
all the different apportionments. All the different apportionments of where it goes.
And most of our taxes are school taxes.
Most of it's school taxes.
I would say 65 to 75%.
Yeah. Which is the point. It helps pay for education.
So, pay your taxes. Just
you know,
I don't think I ever have, and I don't think I ever will dispute, because all it does is mean that my property value is going up.
But
however, that bubble's going to burst here soon.
But but just FYI, PSA here.
PSA.
If you are 65 or over, you can apply to have your taxes frozen, and they will never raise. From the moment of your application at 65, you can make that application. It will be approved as long as you prove your age and Social Security. That's in the state of Texas. It's in the state of Texas. But I think a lot of states do this. If you have a property tax state, not all states are property tax.
Look up your local tax laws, I guess.
Look up the local tax laws, because I know in Texas, at 65 and over, with the proper documentation, they will, whatever it is, when you make that up, it stops. And whatever raises up, you don't get it. It is a benefit for the aged.
I like how you said that. The aged.
But I mean, it's there, and a lot of people don't know it.
I didn't know it until right now. So
it's very.
I'm only 16 years away from 65.
Yeah, well, I'm closer than that.
I know, you're old.
I am. I'll be
not as old as my sister.
I'll be a little older in 2 months.
Not as old as my sisters. So yeah, we went to the Goulds last night and swam and stirred up his pool and left it a mess, and
right.
They were very very gracious. And, They said that we could come back
That's a good thing.
in a few months. No,
It takes time.
I didn't say that. She didn't say that.
Yeah.
They're like, you're always welcome back anytime you want. So, yeah. Hey, I'll be looking for a couple pools coming here shortly. Because if you don't know, you're going to find out today. I'm transitioning to part-time here at First Baptist because of some decisions that had to be made.
Budgetary reductions in our church.
So
let's just put it out there.
I'm starting a new job with Amazon on the 18th of July.
Have no idea what your schedule's going to be yet.
I am flying by the seat of my pants.
So, Joanna, if you're listening, he still doesn't know.
I've reached out. I got a response from the recruiter who CC'd the department supervisor
and said, "This guy's bugging me. Would you please answer him?"
And he has not chosen to respond yet. Maybe he doesn't know. I don't know.
Right.
But with Amazon, typically you find out the day that you go to work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, why would they have to tell you before?
Do you want a job or do you want a shift?
Right.
So
I want a job.
Basically kind of weeding out I'm only going to work first shift or I'm only going to work third shift or
because they're in charge.
Right. They're in charge. Well, they're the boss.
They're the ones who sign the checks.
I'm used to that. It's okay.
It's structure.
Yeah.
You kind of like that.
Discipline. I do.
But you've been out long enough that you kind of like to know things ahead of time too.
Well, I'm getting a little older. I like to plan a little more.
Right.
Not a lot more. A little more. I mean, when you plan too much, when you plan it down to the finest detail,
well, then it's going to break.
You leave no room for error.
Yeah, and there's always going to be something.
Yeah. That's why, here's a pro tip. If you're ever in youth ministry, you find yourself going to camp and you want to leave at 9:30,
tell them 9.
Buses at 9. Because then you'll be on time.
Doesn't that work in your homes too?
If you're going to camp,
look, if I want everybody in the vehicle's leaving a little earlier than when it actually leaves.
See, I did that last night, and luckily we were slow in getting out because one young person showed up 6 minutes after we had our scheduled departure.
Right.
I got a text message from Tim says, "Hey man, you're late."
Wait a minute. No, also a structure guy.
He didn't say it like that. He said, "Hey, just wondering when you're coming," because he had the coals.
He had the dogs on the grill, man.
He had the grill ready. He didn't put them on because hot dogs. I mean, the drive from here to his house is about how long it takes to cook a hot dog.
Right.
It was perfect. Beautiful night.
Yeah.
Beautiful backyard. I love what they've done with it. Anyway, if I didn't have dogs, I would consider it.
Yeah.
I would absolutely consider it.
Consider what?
Their backyard.
Oh, okay.
Replicating
their
okay. Backyard.
I'm like, have you talked to them about?
No, they're not. No. Hey, just say no. I'm taking over your house.
That's
I'm going to be a squatter. At least 50 Higginstown. That's right. No. Okay, we were planning to still do Dads with Coffee.
We're just not sure how or when at this moment, but we're waiting to see what happens. The plan is to do it, but hey, it may not be the same bat time and it may not be the same bat channel.
Right.
It may have to adjust, and we will let you know when we know. Dads with Coffee may be a Tuesday thing.
And they have to give me a day off, so
you say that.
You can't work every day. Maybe we could do I don't know. We don't want to do a Sunday morning because that's a little much.
There's enough going on Sunday mornings.
It's a little much on Sunday mornings.
It is.
But yeah, it's so speaking of,
so we have camp coming up.
My right hand in Missouri.
Yes.
And my two left hands have just been doing the lion's share of the work.
Yeah.
There's still plenty to be done. You think you could just, all right, it's camp, let's load up the truck and let's go. But
used to be
seeing when you
it used to be more like that.
When you run your own cabin, and when I say run your own cabin, you have to think of the logistics of the cabin. We want to show video. He wants to do a PowerPoint presentation. I had to do a recon mission Tuesday up to Falls Creek just to make sure all the AV works.
it wasn't
didn't.
going to.
It didn't work.
It wasn't going to.
So we've had to shift, and we're gonna
Rethink a couple things.
That other thing was supposed to be here yesterday, but it was supposed to be on the same UPS truck that delivered those pins, but
Good times.
it didn't. So we'll see what happens.
Okay.
But anyway, I had to make a recon trip Tuesday up to Falls Creek, just to flush
See
that
what's
out
going on. Yeah.
and answer a couple other questions that I had for me personally. But when you run your own cabin, I mean, you take everything.
Yeah.
There you have your basic amenities. You have beds, and you have a kitchen, and you have.
Right.
But if you want,
But
we do some things at camp, like we do these little envelopes, mailboxes, we call them. They turn into spam mail about Wednesday.
Yeah.
Where people just were like, "Hi, hey, oh, what's going on? Hey, you're awesome, you're cute."
yeah, not the intention.
Not the intention, but they're at least talking to each other and sitting down. I think they have more fun sitting together, writing these little notes
than the actual note
than
itself.
the actual notes. So it's still
You're
serves
facilitating
a purpose.
relationship building opportunities.
Right. Many people don't know this either. We don't allow kids to take cell phones to camp, and it's kind of a sticking point for some people. And we discussed this year maybe we would allow it just for free time, because the camp does some hashtag this moments, and they want to do the hashtag this moments on their Instagram. But
do you want camp, or do you want a Christian experience?
I want kids to go to get away from the world, to experience God in a way that they won't experience God if their face is in their phone.
Which it will be.
Yes.
I mean, it's just reality.
I saw it Tuesday.
Yeah.
There's more faces in phones than faces in faces.
Right.
And so we don't have cell phones. And I know parents don't trust the world. Hopefully that they trust me and us and know that we have.
Right. What is she asking?
She said, "We miss you as well." I don't know if she's responding to a group text. I met one thing you'll never know about youth ministry is how many different group text messages you'll get.
Oh God.
And how many different groups you'll be in. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Like a lot. Like more than I ever want to count a lot.
Right.
But yeah, with camp prep goes, we always take a toiletry box because someone's going to forget soap and shampoo.
Sure.
Someone's going to forget a toothbrush. Someone's going to forget.
So how many bottles of Gold Bond are going to be over on the guy's side?
Two.
Okay.
Large.
Too large.
There will be 2 large bottles of Gold Bond. And
is that in ratio to the amount of athletes that you have going? Because they're the ones who are very
it's
used
in ratio
to using it.
To the amount of time I want them to spend outside. You guys know that we're on this at this time. You can't be texting us.
Right.
Turn our phones over. Then it goes. Wah, 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 wah. So yeah, and then sometimes things happen at camp that you're not expecting, and you need certain items that.
That's right. Yeah.
Facilitate
certain
those things.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
So I have to do an inventory of all that and make sure the boxes are right, and one for the girls' side, one for the boys' side.
So let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Why do we do camp?
Why do we do camp? That again, the way we do camp, First Baptist Crowley and Fuse Student Ministries, we do camp to separate them from the world at least for a week.
Okay.
For at least 5 days to get them disconnected from all the distractions, to get them solely focused on Jesus. And the way that the camp that we go to does it, and you've known this camp longer than I have, but the way that this camp does it is they give you opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to just swim in Jesus.
Yep.
Yep. They offer breakouts at 3, 4, and 5 o'clock in the evening that you can go, and it's just a Bible study that you can go to
on various topics and needs.
And they hit the right things. It seems they hit the right things every year.
Well, that's shout out to Todd Sanders and his crew.
Yes.
They know they're in youth ministry.
Yes.
And they're around it as well as state leading it. And so they're very adept at knowing what the hot topics and buttons are going to be for the kids right now.
Yes.
Every year. Now, some things are going to be same breakouts every year. Some of them.
Well, sure. I mean,
but
you're going to have,
but then they adjust them.
You're going to have a call to ministry breakout every year.
Every Thursday.
You're going to have a meet the band breakout every year.
Yep.
Every Thursday. Again.
You're going to have a new believers breakout.
You're going to have a new believers
every
breakout
Friday.
Every Friday. Just because these things happen at camp as we grow closer to Christ, they're just personal decisions that we make.
They've had over 1,000 decisions for Christ in the first 3 weeks.
I talked to Garrett Mason,
plus others, but
who's on staff, and he said he hasn't seen camp this full in years.
Yeah, it's huge. Well, we're finally come out of.
Yeah, I mean,
he's been working the entire COVID protocol.
They're still doing the COVID rows, so they're maintaining that gap. But the auditorium itself seats about 8,200. 6,900. Okay,
that was a big contention back in the day.
Really? They wanted it bigger or smaller?
They wanted it bigger. And the reason is when we moved from, did you ever go in the open air situation, open air era?
We were in the first year at the new tower.
Okay. When I went, this is my 27th year. And so we were back in the open air where it was, I mean, you had a pavilion.
In the amp.
No, before the amphitheater.
Before the amp.
Yeah. Where the current tabernacle is now was just a covered pavilion that would seat 9,500 students, and it was no walls, just a covering. And so these huge fans. That's back when we would dress up. We wore coats and ties in the evening service back in the day. Things have changed.
I wear shorts and hey dudes.
But my point is, I digress. My point is that when they were building the new one, it was reducing it by a legit 1,500 to 2,000 over what it had held, and that felt complicated. So they added a week. When I first started going, they only had 5 weeks.
Oh, now we're up to 8.
Right. Now you had 5 Oklahoma weeks. You had a Texas week. It was the week we go used to be just Texas week. If you didn't know that, that's a little history.
But makes sense.
4th of July week, because back in the day, Oklahoma owns and operates it. So they took the 5 hot weeks, and 4th of July week was a holiday week. So they gave that to Texas. So if you were a Texas church back in the day, you were not allowed.
Oh, really?
You were not allowed to be at any other week than your Texas week.
What about Missouri and Oklahoma? I mean, Arkansas and Louisiana.
They weren't coming at the time.
Okay.
When they eliminated, I think Texas week then grew to be non-Oklahoma week. But now when they expanded it to 6 and then 7, and now we have 8 weeks, they've just opened it up to anybody who wants to go.
Yeah.
And so the theory is that the overall allowance for the year is the same as it would have been in a smaller facility. But it was interesting because the first year we opened it, it was packed out. We had standing room only. And it was just like, come on. So we added a week, went from 7 to 8. And so, yeah, it's a little bit of history there on the camping side.
I mean, if you've never been to Falls Creek and if you've never experienced just the scenery, I love Falls Creek at YEC. It's quieter.
Oh yeah,
it's cool.
Well, depending on if we can go in January or March.
Even in March,
it's still cool in March.
Yeah,
it's frozen in January.
Yes,
and it's nice. Just cooler in March.
And then when we went for men's retreat that one year. In the spring.
Yeah,
April.
Usually it's last weekend to April.
It was so just
perfect. It can get a little warm, but it's still nice.
It's nice.
But when you come out of 102-degree heat into a 69-degree amphitheater, it seems cold.
When I went up Tuesday, when I drove onto the campus, it was 77 degrees Tuesday.
Really? Raining?
It was threatening to rain.
Okay. 77. That's a nice week.
77.
I remember
When it warmed up, it got up to like 92. But
when we first started going, Thursday mornings, of course, the schedule's changed, but Thursday mornings was the big band morning.
Yeah.
Because we would just have, we just had church
Right
on the evenings. So Bill Green, who was the state director at the time for music, well known at Falls Creek.
He has a timpani where he sang "Save, Save, Save."
Yeah, and we would just sing stuff. So Thursday morning was the big band. So they bring in this usually a well-known band in on Thursdays. And so we'd all had and I remember one Thursday, it was one of these cool weeks. But of course you had these huge 8-foot fans all over hooked to the ceiling to move air, right? It was 42 degrees that morning.
Wow.
And we were freeze. I mean, we held it up. We held it up in Blake. You don't have enough clothing.
It's summer camp.
Yeah.
You're taking shorts and t-shirts.
That's right.
Although my t-shirts are all long sleeve because,
But it was 42 degrees. It was crazy.
Love Bill Green is our music minister. Oh, I didn't know that.
He was at Richardson is that K?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was at First Richardson back when they were members over there before he went to Oklahoma as the worship specialist.
Amy, again, you're coming up as Facebook user.
I don't understand
I don't know why you're the only one that comes up as. But when I go back and look at it, you're Amy.
Who knows? It's just
Amy
weird.
Odom.
It started doing that the moment I quit having paying for this. When I went to the free accounts the day that changed. Is it weird? That's weird, right? Isn't that weird?
It is weird. Yeah.
When I quit paying for it, she went to Facebook user. I think it's God telling Amy to sponsor us.
Wait! Be careful putting words in God's mouth. I'm just saying. I don't want to get struck.
So how does camp fit into your overall youth ministry philosophy?
Camp is
it the beginning or the end or the middle? What is it? What is it in your philosophy?
For some, it is a peak coming out of a valley.
Okay. And a peak going into a valley.
And a peak, yes. I mean, it's going to, because next month we go back to school, right?
Right.
Where they get beat up and beat up and beat up. And life is a series of highs and lows. I mean, we're just one big sine wave.
Right.
Just peaks and valleys.
Right.
And so for some, it's the first peak they've ever felt.
Sure.
So it's a beginning
of
new life. And from that point, it becomes a discipleship from there on. So it's a beginning. For others, especially as they graduate out, it's an end. It's an end to ministry because now you're graduating out of youth ministry. You're moving on to bigger and better things. You're looking forward to collegiate week, which I wish they would move, but that's neither here nor there. And for others, I'll use Mallory for an example. Okay. Mallory,
she's going to love this, I'm sure.
Well, it is very complimentary. Since she got saved 3 years ago, I've seen more growth out of her than any person I've seen in a 3-year span.
Mm-hmm.
She went from, going to church sporadically to opening the doors, to singing on stage, to use her talents, to leading in Vacation Bible School, to leading in youth, to begging me, when can I teach a lesson? When can I teach? I want to teach. When can I share the word with my peer group? So she's gone from brand new believer to just over the top leader in just 3 short years.
It's the goal and the dream.
So for her, it's a boost.
Right.
For her, it's the middle.
Okay.
Camp is different for every person that attends.
Right.
It's a unique experience. You see first-year campers that go up and their eyes light up because it's larger than life.
Oh, it is. It's a small city.
And you see,
If you haven't been, it's a
Yeah.
small city.
I mean, there are
10,000 people every week. They don't all go to the sanctuary, but
how many cabins are there?
800.
800. So 840 plus person homes. I don't think there's probably a couple cabins that hold less than 40.
There are,
but on average,
but very few.
On average, each one of these has 40 beds in it. Ours has 100 beds in it. The one that you helped build has
165.
165 beds.
Mm-hmm.
There are cabins with 200. There's one that looks like a ski lodge that has, I think, 400 beds in it total.
Okay, sure.
Ish.
Yeah, a little less, but yeah, 400 is a good number.
Yeah, ministerially speaking, 400 beds. But and then you see people from, we were up there, when I was up there Tuesday, the people that were in our cabin were from Ozark, Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Next week, we will see people from Arkansas. We'll see people from Louisiana. We'll see people from Texas. We'll see,
yep.
Again, Oklahoma. This is a church camp that is funded by Oklahoma Baptists that reaches every bordering state.
Yeah.
And beyond.
And beyond. Yeah, we've had some come from
beyond.
Further, especially at Collegiate Week.
Oh, Collegiate Week, you get
come from Alaska.
We get Alaska. Canada comes down every year. Washington, Florida, Arkansas is there every year. It's just all over the nation.
For the Texas listeners,
okay,
that may be asking, because sometimes people may ask, why are you?
Don't make me say this.
Why are you going to Oklahoma to go to camp? I'll say it
because Texas can't match it.
Texas can't match. Texas hasn't matched it. They could. They just chose not to.
Because I could take kids to camp for $150. There's nowhere in Texas that I could take a kid to even get in the door for less than $350.
Right.
They don't bring in the speakers, the quality of speakers. They don't bring in the quality of bands.
And sometimes some of that comes from the amount of registrants you have each week too. I mean, the fact that you have 7,000 to 8,000 a week,
right,
affords you an opportunity to do things.
Texas is 6 times the state of Oklahoma.
Sure. And they just don't do it.
You could have 4 Falls Creeks in Texas.
Sure.
It's not that they don't have the money to do it.
They just aren't.
They just aren't.
So and that's not I'm not trying to be negative about Texas. Just if people ask, and some people do, we go there. It's 2 hours away for us.
It's closer than San Antonio.
It's 2 hours away for us.
It's a better drive than Austin.
Yep. Everything's a better drive than Austin. It's
practically in the Metroplex still. I mean, it's 50 miles north of the border.
Yeah.
It's exit 51 in Oklahoma.
That's right.
It's
too easy to get there. We can get there faster than a third of the state of Oklahoma can get there. And so just if you look at the larger radial circle, it made sense for us to go there.
Yeah. And
we pay a little bit of tax fee because we're out of state, but that makes sense.
We don't pay into their cooperative program.
It's their ministry dollars that operate it. It makes sense that we
does make sense.
have a little out-of-state tax fee.
It costs you more because you don't pay in throughout the year.
Don't mind that a bit.
Not a bit. Because it cost me $95 to get in the door.
Per person.
Yep.
For the week.
Any other camp, a student life camp or
you're $200.
You have a price
plus everything else though. I'm talking about
it costs $300 to get in the door.
Are they feeding you too?
No.
Wow. Yeah, I haven't priced.
Yeah, they feed you.
Okay.
But it doesn't count your transportation.
Right. Oh, I know.
The lodging is a beat up college dorm room.
Well, here's the deal. And I know I'm a little homer on this because I spent 18 years in Oklahoma. Okay. But no, I haven't checked out other things. You know why? Because nobody does it like they do it.
I've been asked the question.
Children's camp, youth camp, college camp. Nobody does it like they do.
Children's camp is $65.
It's amazing. And you get 3 full days of camp experience for your 4th through 6th graders.
You could feed them for another $30 a day.
You
get a cabin for another $15 a day per head.
That is our hope and goal for next year, is that we I doubt we can do it because of the scheduling. Texas school schedule is just a bear to deal with.
We fall right in.
But next year, it falls right in next year, and so I'd like that. That's Angela and I've been talking. I'd like to see that happen next year. I think that'd be, especially coming out of VBS, and we've got a strong we have a strong 5th and 6th grade ministry that's going to start up in August. So we're actually coming up. We're trying to get creative and brainstorm some names right now. So thinking through that. But camp is an important process because for some it's their first step of spiritual.
It's a springboard, and others
it's a training ground,
and others are jumping in the water just to cool off because it's been such a year.
And sometimes it's that way.
And they just need the peace and calm and serenity.
Yep.
That Falls Creek brings, or that camp brings.
That's right.
We won't say Falls Creek. A week away from the outside world.
So are you still taking sponsorships? If somebody wanted to sponsor a child, are you?
Is
there a need still?
Is there a need? Maybe not right now, but there's a need next year.
Right. And you know how, and there's a way that they can do that. You want to tell us about the way they can do that?
You may not know.
I'm the king of segues,
you
man.
You may not know.
I'm the king of segues.
We do a little thing called Club 550. Club 550 just means that you give $5 a week for 50 weeks. If you give $5 a week for 50 weeks, that pays for one student to go to camp. $5 isn't a lot. Complete. That's travel, that's lodging, that's food, that's entrance.
You cover the need of a single student in the larger ministry concept.
Yeah. I had a little lady come up to me Sunday and she said, "Keith, do y'all need more money for camp?" And I said, "Miss Linda, you give faithfully every week to 550. I see your little envelope that says $5 for 550. You've already paid for a kid to go to camp."
Yep.
And to see her face light up, to know that
that's what's happening.
She had done that.
Yep.
And to know that, yes, $5 goes a long way. You could change a kid's life $5 a week. I feel like Sally Struthers right now.
But you can.
You can. I mean, we have kids every year that say, "Keith, I would go to camp, but I can't afford it." And I said, "I can."
It's like, don't tell me that, because we have opportunity.
We'll find. I've had more scholarship dollars come in this year than I've had come in years past. That's because the need is greater.
So if you ever wanted to get on board with the 550 movement, you can mark your check or your envelope or your PayPal gift, and you can say this much, be sure to take $5 of what I'm giving to put over into the 550 club.
550.
Yeah. And that it helps to support the situation.
And then we have another man, Alan Epp. I don't know if he or Vanessa are watching, but Alan Epp does a can ministry for us.
Yep.
So people will bring in their aluminum cans and any other scrap metal that he can find.
And he finds a lot of it.
Take it down to the recycling plant. He just gave us another check for $65 today.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
$65.82. And every penny that he collects and brings in goes straight back into youth camp ministry. So
that's good.
It's a very loving, giving church.
It is.
I really appreciate where I'm at, where we're at.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, good things are happening.
That's right.
So with that said, we won't be on next week unless.
Well, we might be.
Next week is tentative.
Yeah.
And my eyes will be much more red than they are today.
I was thinking if Cam's going to be there all week, maybe we bring him in.
Oh, yeah. Or you could do Thursday morning. We just go to the front porch.
We can figure it out.
We might be here next week.
So stay tuned.
We don't know.
We don't know yet.
It'll
be at camp if we do it.
We'll look a little more haggard.
Yeah. Thursday morning at camp.
That's like the only day that I was thinking about that this morning as I was laying in bed trying to get up. Tuesday morning, everybody's hyped.
Daybreak. And it's daybreak.
Yeah, stupid excited. We get up at 6:30, 6 o'clock in the morning to go to a breakout.
Wednesday's the 5K.
Wednesday's the 5K. Thursday is
praying
the
for
first
rain,
day.
by the way.
So you don't have to run it?
Yeah, my ankle's hurting a little bit today. I did 4.5 yesterday.
You run the 1 mile.
No,
and let Mallory win. No.
I can't let Mallory. I'm coming after you. I did a sub 10-minute mile sub 10-minute yesterday, so I'm getting closer.
She's been working out with soccer, so
I know, but it depends on what I feed her the night before.
it'll be well, not her because she doesn't eat meat, so she's gonna eat a grilled cheese sandwich. We're eating brisket. She's eating a grilled cheese sandwich.
Man, when they were all sophomores, I beat them, or freshmen. When they were freshmen, I beat them all, and then they came, and then I went through a struggle coming in, and then last year I just couldn't get it done, and I ran it, but it was a rough one. So
you need to just run with Todd and Shannon, and
they go last place. They bring up the rear every year. It hurts my heart.
It's because they run the 5K and then they cool down with the 1 mile.
No, that's not it. I've watched. I'm a little too competitive.
They also do it 8 weeks.
Exactly. And we're the 4th time that they've done it.
Right.
And it's a killer course.
Oh, it's uphill everywhere you go. It's like the route your parents took to school.
I really wish that there was a way for them to get that race certified. It'd be cool if they could get it certified. It'd be awesome if they could get it certified.
I don't know if it's the last hill, but one of the last hills that you run is right by the Welcome Center. And I guarantee it is a
well, you're coming down. You're coming down to the Welcome Center. You're coming up by the Perry Cabin. We're at the last hill. You come up to the West End Cafe. You come all the way downhill to the finish line. But that last hill,
that downhill
which is at 2.8 miles,
ridiculous.
That last hill is stupid.
It's tough. I've never run the 5K because I don't run anymore.
Yeah, no, I'm going to run it.
I don't run unless somebody's chasing me.
Let's put it this way: I refuse to be the last one in our cabin. I will not be the last one in our cabin.
Well, maybe I'll run the 5K this year just so we can make it.
Ouch! I see where we're going. I see how it is.
Oh, no.
Anyway, we'll see you guys maybe or maybe not next week.
Pray for us. We're leaving Monday at.
Yep. What time? What time are we leaving?
We're leaving at 8:30.
Since I'm hauling the trailer, I need to know.
We're pulling out at 9:30.
Okay.
We're leaving at 8:30. No, we have check in at 8:30 and make sure all the paperwork's done. And we'll be there.
All right, man.
See you.